Yes. So share, let's chat, let's talk. I'm gonna open up the box. You guys, admin can let people come up, even the ops, because you know we're Israelites. We're not trying to like go back and forth with people, and then like if they get too disrespectful or just disrespectful, period, they can go right, you know, just get out at that point, because this is not that time. We're not on top of we're not on demon time right now, or ever at that point. So I wanted to like get you guys accustomed to little things I'm gonna be doing on YouTube. Wait. Dang. I'm trying to get it right. Give me a chance. Hold on, y'all. Don't let it slip away too many times. Oh, now house. You better answer. You better answer. Okay, you guys. And we're back. Yeah. So we're not on that type of time right now. We're just honestly just having an open conversation about something. I kind of just really just need my this thing right here. It's kind of soft. As we get this production ready. They said something to me.
You said what?
What you were just talking about. Is this a good hour to do it? Because it's a little weak.
You said the outlet? No, I gotta pull it out a little bit.
Okay, you guys. Let me see if this light gonna help or make it worse.
Let's see, you know this light right here, I can change it.
But I have to have the real green. Okay. You got me a bottle too. The water. Appreciate it. It don't have to be. It does not. This light is lighting. Shoot. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to get the wardrobe and everything goes together. I definitely don't want to
Look better?
Yeah, it does. I feel like I need to put on another shirt. Sheesh. No, I don't want to have my my bosom exposed. It's already like, oh. So let me see, y'all. I kind of like this light. Let me put another shirt on. more comfortable now. I'm not constantly tugging and pulling. Okay, you guys, I feel like this is better. So, I don't even know if I like the light. I don't even know if I like it. I'm just trying to find a good position. I'm gonna take some of this filter off. So can you guys share the live? Join the conversation. She's in more week as well. I'm getting this production together. Share the live. Okay, you guys, yeah. So I'm just trying to like get this production together. We're gonna have a conversation about blending families. I feel like this is a good conversation, especially with me and my husband being newlyweds, and you know, us blending families. So I think this is a good, really good conversation. So first off, for the people who haven't, officially been introduced to my husband, say hi, babe.
What up, though?
Yeah, so he's present.
I'm always gonna say what up, though.
He's present. And we wanted to talk about this. I feel like we had to talk about it amongst each other, and we'd love to hear what you guys think about it. I'm pretty sure other people have blended families and, try to make it work, dealing with children, dealing with exes and all types of stuff. So it'd be crazy. I would say it'd be crazy sometimes. So thank you. Okay, you have a blended family? Okay, good. I'm glad you love the conversation. I'm happy about that. So, okay, so when blended families, it's definitely important to have first a conversation about how it will work. I feel like we all have our imaginations about our what they would say, I say like a false reality, a fantasy about how it's like previewed on Instagram, and now we got this false reality, like, oh yeah, our life's gonna be like that. But in real life, it's not. Like it's a conversation is a need when you're blending families. So I definitely sat down and I had a conversation with my husband, and I just like picked different things that I think may occur when it comes to blending families, like discipline, structure, in certain situations if the child act out. Like for an example, I kind of gave him a scenario of, like what will you do if the child is acting out, right? And you can look. I want two different answers because we still talking about that. Like two different answers, as if the father was in his life or if the child's father was not.
Right.
So if the child's father was in his life,
that's up to the parents that made the child. Unless the child is gonna have some immediate harm, then yeah, the guy should step in. But other than that, it's two parents. The guy that's dating the woman shouldn't get jealous about that. That's part of their duties anyway. So
she shouldn't get jealous. What you mean?
Like Instance like with me, I should get jealous if the dad has to step in to correct the child, even if he overridden. I mean, that's your responsibility.
Okay, I agree to that. I do agree to that. But what if the child father is not involved?
Well, that's up to the mom to give that guy the authority to do that. So,
Oh, really? So you don't feel like it's still like a red zone for you, even if the child's father is involved?
mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that you felt different. Like I was thinking like you would feel whether the child's father is involved or not.
Y'all shouldn't do nothing.
Like you will still not, when it comes to the child. Like would you even? Maybe it depends on the age.
No, I don't.
Like if the child's father is present, or it depends on what he do, what the child do.
No, it's up to the parents that made that baby.
No, because if the child is here,
yeah, if he's
in your household,
if he's in my presence, he's acting out. I'm gonna look at you. Go ahead and check your child. If he still or she still act like he can't or she can't respect you, then that's when I step in.
do you feel like you will have to always, like tell the father every time you discipline?
No, because I mean,
or even have to check?
I mean, a lot of guys can't deal with being around me
fix this
like that. You know what I mean? Like, so
a
lot of dudes get jealous, you know. So if they can't handle that, then of course I'm not saying nothing to them.
No,
this is how I am. You know that.
But that would be so weird.
No, that's you talk to that guy. I'm confident. Like, I'm not tripping about that. You can have a conversation with the guy.
I know, but if you feel like so, but not every guy is gonna be like you. Like some guys are just, just reluctant.
Most guys are not like me, and I'm not saying that to be big headed. I just been around for 39 years, and the people I call my brothers are like only two other people outside of my blood brothers. You know what I mean? So most dudes can't hang with me.
So if the father is reluctant on even trying to have a conversation with me or you about,
and he waives his rights on anything that I say to his kid.
I like that. Look, be prepared to give an answer. I like that because I'm like, what would you do in that situation? Because it's so many different situations where it doesn't matter how much you try to like get along. It's just always that one parent that it doesn't matter what you do. So I like that answer because I think that's a fair answer.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If I'm trying to be cool with somebody and they acting like they don't want to hear it because of whatever their little feelings are, then it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Like I said, it's just like any contract. You're going to waive your rights. If you don't speak up, you don't say nothing.
I'm not liking something. It's not as light as I wanted. I'm sorry, you guys.
Probably exposure.
What, is the light on? Yeah, can you turn it off and not just turn on this? Please. I like that answer too.
These lights are...
Now it still looks like it's like... I like the camera.
Yeah, because it may be the screen protector too. Because I think it is.
Just turn them both off and let me see something. Oh, now it's too dark.
See?
So just try to turn on one. That's a little better.
Once I get the recessed lights in here, we'll be able to tell.
So, yes. I like those answers too. Like, I like those answers too.
You know me well enough to know I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I don't care if I'm talking to you or talking to 10 billion people. I am who I am. You know what I mean? Like, people gonna like me. Some people gonna dislike me. I don't care about the people that dislike me. The people that like me, I take more consideration. For other than that, I'm not. I don't care about that.
Right. I agree. So,
Now you don't know what to say.
No, because that just threw me off that you had that good answer like that. Like, that just literally just threw me all the way off. So, what, like, concerning how, like, okay, so clearly it's going to be a difference, or would it be a difference between our baby and...
A child is a child. I mean, that's just like back in the biblical days. No, not even biblical days. It's back when parents, nieces, uncles, aunties, neighbors used to watch everybody's kids. If a kid do something wrong, they're never gonna get on them like that's their parent. So I don't see a difference because really we all spiritually connected anyway. So technically, they are my family. So I'm not gonna be harder on your kids and then console my kid because it's just my blood. No, you do something wrong, I'm probably gonna get more of my kid because they should know. Like, look, you came from my spirit, my seed, so you should know better.
Right.
If anything, they gonna be the ones I'm gonna get on the most.
Okay. I like that answer too, because I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just a way that I feel, but like, I kind of feel like there is a difference. I mean, in reality, there is a difference. And me personally, I wouldn't know how to like balance it. I really wouldn't.
What you mean?
Because I feel like there's going to be certain things that happen where it's not going to be equal.
Like what? I mean, you gotta make an example.
Like certain places that our child can go that my other children can't. In a sense. Like, there's going to be certain things that happen that's going to make me feel...
But that's what being a parent is. You got to talk to the kids and make sure they understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. I say that because that's what my dad, every decision he made, he didn't say, shut up, I'm your daddy, and just deal with it.
I mean, I feel like that's a good analogy.
He explained it. This is the reason why. Because he was not just being a parent, he was trying to teach us. You know, that just by saying that, because anybody can just say, shut up and listen. But
like, go like where, like, okay, so for an example, like, if his family is having a family reunion, or maybe one of his family members want to spend time with our child, at some point every time, like, my other children is not going to go, like, so I'm just saying, like, let's be realistic. I feel like people would be like gasping for air as if certain things is not going. I know, y'all. I see it too. This glare.
No, that's just.
Maybe I should just hold it. They said I should wipe it.
Tea is still.
Oh, it's so much better now.
Oh, it is.
It's so much better now, and I'm gonna hold it. But yeah, I just feel like that's real. Like, and I feel like with the other children, they're gonna feel like, well, if we go over our father's house, of course our son is not gonna go, but they probably gonna feel different if our child go over your family house and they can't go.
Well, that's what talking to them is about.
Yeah, because I just know.
Feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, we are the parents, so we're gonna explain to you why, this, that, and the third, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
because, like, even in a situation, and I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I can't go into too many details, but even in a situation that I'm in right now, one of the family members is allowing all, like, they're going to spend the night over each other's houses, my family and they family. But one of the family members, the fathers, like, he not even letting no family member, no sibling even interact or even see the other siblings. So like, you know, this happening to me in real time. So I'm like, it's very hurtful, but I can't control that, because the only person who can control it is the parent who have custody of the child at that moment. Like, even when it comes to parenting time, they give you parenting time. So if it's my parenting time, then of course I can't say too much of, okay, well, what, like, okay, for an example, let's say that two of the fathers, and somebody's like, woman got 3 children's father, she have kids. 2 of the fathers get along, 1 of the fathers don't. So 1 of the fathers take, and you have like, okay, this woman might have like 3 kids by 1 guy and 1 kid by another, and then 3 kids by another guy, something like that, you know. And the 2 fathers get along and 1 don't. So when that father come, he's only taking certain amounts of kids. I can't be like, no, you can't take him. Like, you know, especially if they talking to each other beyond me. So if it's both of their weekends, so stuff like that, I feel like it happens and I can't really control it. And even when it happened before, I didn't know how to explain the situation. I was just like, well, that's not really your father. You know, I can't make them take you. That's not really your family. So that's why this is called blending families.
But you know what though?
Because a lot of these situations happen.
You know what? On that end, the guy that's taking all his kids, that's like me. If I jive with more some of the boys more than some of the other ones, I'm not gonna be like, well, if all 7 of them wants to come over here, I'm like, no, I'll just pick that one. No, they all family. They siblings.
Right.
Like that's.
And I'm glad you're level-headed like that.
Human beings, as grown people, we solely have the responsibility of how we make the kids feel as they get older. So they feel like they're gonna be left behind all the time. That can play on their psyche.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and what's the point? As a man, you gotta ask yourself, why am I acting like this? Maybe it's because they really don't like the woman.
Yeah, it's always
or
like
they upset because they can't get back with her, or this, that, or whatever the case may be. They may feel a certain type of way and they react to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just don't see the logic. And you know, I play on logic. So I'm not just gonna go off my emotion without me being like, all right, you know, does this even make sense? Why do I want half the kids over here but not the rest?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because no, bring all of them over. Those are memories they gonna have. You know, so.
Right. I agree to that. It should be all or nothing. Like, there was this one incident on Facebook where, you know, this is about blending families. And I'm gonna let you guys up momentarily. Where this guy brought, and then like the girl, they was on like some type of lunch break or something like that. And her kids was with her. He brought 1 kid, and they all was hungry. It was all lunchtime for all of them.
I think I seen.
Yeah, he brought one of the kids McDonald's. And the mom just got berserk and got crazy, and it was trending for a long time. And I don't even know how I would feel about that situation. I think it's kind of fair, but in a situation where if that woman didn't have money to feed all of them at that time, I would think it would have been okay. Because if it was me, like, if I didn't have money, I'm talking about real situations. If I didn't have money to feed all my children, and I can ask one of my children's father to buy their child some lunch, and I didn't have no money or no way, I would split that food up. I don't care. As soon as he leave out the door, I'll be like, I'm about to split it up.
I mean, it's tough.
Like, because I don't even know. Like, I don't know how I would feel about that.
The situations are tough because their relationship could have been horrible with each other, and he like, look, I'm only seeing you because you got my child. You know what I mean? Like, she could have been super disrespectful, or the brother could just been like that, and she know he's always been like that.
Yeah,
so
and
like,
that's
what's the point of tripping because now you got it on camera?
Yeah,
you want to expose a brother, or maybe he really don't have no decent paying job to be able to afford to do that. You know what I mean? So no telling what the circumstances is, but I know me. I'm not going to bring food around other kids that haven't ate without feeding everybody. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to be your kids. If they're around and I can afford it, yeah, you know, why not? They kids. We supposed to be looking after our young generation. Why you think it's so jacked up now? Because most of these parents ain't paying attention to their kids. They let them do whatever, or they want to have kids, or they enjoy the sex, but once the kids come, they like, I haven't even experienced my life. Too late. Your job is your kids now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's so many different variables in that situation.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. And I get that. I guess that's fair. So do you apply that to gifts too? Would you apply that to gifts?
Well, that's different, because if it's just one of the kids' birthdays, I'm not gonna be like, happy birthday.
Well, not in that situation, but like if you wanted to, like if you seen something at the store that you wanted to pick up for our child.
If all the kids are around, and I will call you first. And if you like, nah, they don't need nothing, then I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. My goal is to not have a kid be too spoiled to where when they don't have something, they catch a fit. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, that's what the communication amongst both parties, amongst both grown-ups is about. Because I could be buying gifts for your kids all day, but you like, baby, you got to stop doing that. They don't, you know what I mean? So if I talk to you first and you like, nah, just call me before you do any of that. And I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? So it's all about that communication. And that's, you know, not every kid deserves something, especially if they're not doing good in school. Oh, you definitely not about to get nothing.
Right.
You lucky if you even keep your phone. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff is important, because kids don't understand by the time they get 18 how important it is to have some type of credit. You need to have at least a credit card that the parents are monitoring, so by the time you hit a certain age, this, that, and the third, and don't accept nothing in these mysterious mailboxes. Once you hit 18, you happen to get mysterious, you know, offer letters for credit cards. Like, they know. You know what I mean? So it's up to the parents to be able to control if the kids are going to be selfish, or if they're going to be a giving, loving person, you know, and all that. And then when they act like demon childs, and it's up to you to put that holy water on them and humble them down. You know what I mean? So it's not about just, I'm tired, I don't want to discipline. No. I know my dad, he would, if we act up like that.
Okay, so I'm going to get a little deep.
Go ahead.
Go a little deep. And I'm not saying this for our dynamics, but it happens so many different times in relationships. So what if, when it comes to a man marrying a woman, one of the children of the flock or whatever, she have children, one of them kind of are unmanageable.
That's impossible.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish, because I feel like sometimes, especially with dealing with children who has been preview to a lot of trauma, watching their mom and dad fight, and that happens so much in our community, that when their mother get married to a man, and you know, you hear about this all the time, especially when they're kind of like at a teenage age, right? They kind of up there. They're real defiant. They're not like they're 7, 8, like they bigger. You know, they tall. You know, because like, especially when they feel like they teenagers or almost teenagers. You know, they act out. So sometimes it gets to the point where the boy, and again, this is not our dynamics, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes it gets to a point where the child is like, "You're not my daddy." They say that.
Okay.
They say, like, "You're not my daddy." They get aggressive. I didn't never want her to marry you. Well, all this stuff.
They want to act like grown-ups. I'm gonna tell you, like, I always reference my dad. Because we want to act like grown-ups, we gonna live like a grown-up. You can take that how you want it, but you gotta lead by example. They kids. You either gonna show them by being real nice to their mother. You will never have to raise your voice at the child, being real nice, caring, and all that. Eventually, they gonna see, like, okay, it's okay. But if they really got some deep trauma or some deep, I should call it demons in them, You know what I mean? It takes a different strategy, a different point. You know what I mean? Because some kids, that's why I say it's okay. You got to be so careful on who you sleep with, because those parent spirits are within that child. So if you got parents that made a baby and it wasn't out of love, you can really expect for the kid to
make our baby out of love?
I mean, you know, I keep it PG and say yes, you know, but you can expect for that child to be a certain way. You know what I mean? So if the child is acting out, then I want to know why.
Yeah.
And if you act like you don't want to talk, then I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm gonna play your game. Eventually, you're gonna break. You're gonna start seeing the other children having fun and all that, and next you know, excuse me,
right?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm not gonna scold you or nothing like that, but it's about teaching the kids.
I like that. That was like really like, okay. Yeah. I like that. That was strategic. I like that. But yeah, because like certain situations like that happen where the child start acting up, and
that's their way of talking.
Yeah, you know it is.
I mean? That's their way of talking, and a lot of parents don't want to deal with it, you know, but they have to. That's their responsibility. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you either gonna try to do something about it, or you just gonna let it fester in the household. And the household ain't gonna have no peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. You know me, I like peace. So anybody that step up in this house, if they got an attitude, a lot of times it's gonna be wiped away once they walk in here, because they feel that it's peaceful in here. You know what I mean? So
it's very peaceful.
So it's like I don't need to have a billion kids to be a good dad, because every man on this planet, especially us Israelite men, have a natural inclination to be providers and dads. We just got to tap into it. That's all. We can't make excuses saying, well, the woman I slept with, you know, she get on my nerves. That's why. No, you don't have to do that. Even if she cussing, fussing, okay, I understand. It's no point for a guy to give an excuse on why they can't see their child, especially if the woman not holding a gun every time you walk up to him and say, get off my porch.
Right.
They want to make that excuse saying, oh, that's why I didn't come to see my son, because, you know, she always want to argue. All right, well, let her argue. Just don't say nothing. Smile at her and say, can I get my son? Or can I get my daughter? You know, it's my time. And then grab your kid and say goodbye.
Okay. I like those answers. I'm going to start letting y'all up, but y'all have to, like, be respectful.
Crazy.
Let's hope.
I just have one question to ask your husband. If he knows that using the vape pen is still menthol.
It's nicotine.
Right, so you're okay with her with the nicotine being pregnant?
That's a progress. You know that some people smoke marijuana all through their pregnancy?
Yeah, I've heard that, and they also say, oh, that's not bad. I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, it's all up to someone's preference. Now, if every person that had smoked cigarettes and smoked marijuana during pregnancy was always a deficiency in the child, then yes. But when someone is used to doing something for a long time, cutting them off cold turkey could be really bad. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I haven't had no cigarettes, so I had switched to vape.
No. I know the cigarettes, but that's why I'm saying the vape, because I used to smoke cigarettes, and then I started trying to use the vape, and then my doctor was like, that's the same thing. The nicotine is in there, but you're just not getting as much, but it still has nicotine in it. They haven't come out with a vape pen that has no nicotine at all.
Correct. And you know, sister, you know that they bless you. You know they come out with a healthy vape. You know, they don't want us to be healthy, you know, at the end of the day, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and he's have been working with me, but I'm like fairly early. Like we haven't even like been to the doctor to see how far I'm like along. And I have smoked cigarettes before, and then like sometimes I didn't even know I was pregnant until I'm like, every time I try to smoke a cigarette, I feel sick. And I haven't been having no illnesses, no morning sickness or stuff like that. So I know that I'm fairly early, but I have not drunk nothing. I'm like, I'm not about to risk
Trust,
that with the drinking.
trust me, sis. That's gonna stop.
You've
Yeah.
had wine.
Now what? Like now, when I was known pregnant, no,
You didn't have
no,
wine when you were packing for your trip?
no. I put some juice in a wine glass. I said I gotta.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. It looked like wine. That's why I asked. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's you
He'll
answered
have
my
his
questions.
drink, and I'll put my juice in a wine glass. He like, you want me
Oh,
to
okay.
stop? But thank you for coming up. He like, you drinking? I'm like, no. I'm like, but you can't drink. I'm like, I just put my juice in the wine glass. So yeah. Um. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get eventually. Of course, I'm gonna have to stop smoking. My body not even gonna let me smoke without getting sick and stuff, like even smelling any of it.
I mean, people are, this stuff is meant to make people addicted to it.
Yeah, and I have
Like,
an
even with
addiction.
food, like, why do you think a lot of people just eat for no reason? For literally no reason. You gotta eat. Your stomach it's not even growling, but you gotta eat because it's something that they put in those foods. If we just ate nothing but healthy stuff from out of this country, we wouldn't be like that. And listen to what I said, out of this country. A lot of the other countries don't put that stuff, especially in their fruits.
Mm-hmm.
And when people be saying they allergic to bananas and stuff like that, it's not that they allergic to bananas. It's they allergic to what they spray on the bananas. I know personally, business-wise, they literally spray chemicals on the bananas to keep them so-called fresh for a long period of time. So, that additive on it is causing people to be allergic to it. It's not the actual fruit. When it comes to food, when it comes to cigarettes, when it comes to marijuana, any businessman or businesswoman is going to try to ask, how can I get people to be addicted to it to keep bringing revenue in? This is what this society is made on. So in order to break someone out of it, especially if you love someone, you're going to work with them. You know what I mean? Because she know, like, I was a drill sergeant at first, and I was like, no, cold turkey. And then I had to sit back and think, like, that's going to have a negative effect. And then within a week, she stopped smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? So it's just a trickle-down effect, because I don't want none of her kids, none of my kids in the future to be like, I'm going to start doing this. And then you want to say, no, don't do it. And they're like, mine, you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my goal. Hopefully, maybe it won't be in our lifetime, but hopefully our people will stop doing all that, and start putting their money towards something more beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else up.
Okay, you said you don't know if you're all the way pregnant yet, or what you saying? What were you saying about that?
I haven't got a ultrasound or any blood work. I just took some positive pregnancy tests and haven't chemical sparring.
Because I knew the other day you was on the porch, it's like you were growing fast and your stomach was showing. I was thinking that's what you said.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that. Of course, I feel like that, but I know I'm fairly early.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, enjoy.
Mhm. Yes, I'm fairly early. Not even 2 months pregnant. I feel like it's nothing but like trolls
Yeah.
comments.
Hey Mario, I have a question for you. I hope I'm not kicked for this question, but it's just something that I want to know. Like, what are you gonna do different this time as a mom that you did versus, with your other children? Like, what is going to be different this time with this pregnancy versus your other
Yeah,
pregnancies
you
with
can
your
answer
other
it.
children?
Well, I'm just gonna answer it real quick. She got a husband.
All right, that's your answer. Can I get an answer from her?
I like his answer.
So, Okay, so can I ask this now? So what about having a husband is going to change you as a mom?
You want to answer that too, baby?
No, I want the answer from you.
Everything I'm answering is straight biblical, sis. So if you are a religious person, you will respect my answers, correct?
I mean, I
No,
respect it to a
you,
certain extent. Yeah, I
that's
do.
what I'm saying.
Like,
Sister, you gotta understand. A woman that don't have a good man in their life, I don't care how strong the women say I can be a mom and a dad. If you got a good man that you know gonna always be there, your whole perception of things is gonna change. You gonna be listening to him, he gonna be trying to help you in any way possible. So those things are gonna change from her past. Cause I see a change. She showed me videos of her past and all that, and I see a change in her. You know what I mean? So to have a baby by someone like me, and I'm gonna be super big headed about this. I'm one of the rarest men that any woman will meet. And I say that because I'm just that good of a guy. So if I can't help change her in a better way, then what's the point of us being here?
okay, this is the last question I have. Was she not allowed to have that question because you are? Was she not allowed to answer that question because you are her husband and you speak for her, or she just what is it?
No, I decided that I wanted him to break it down to give you knowledge about how important it is to have two parents in a household. Like how biblical from the beginning of time, that order is the reason why that order
No,
being. But
I
let
get
me
what you're
finish.
saying
Let me
about.
finish. Let me finish. Because you asked us a question and you asked me a question. I'm giving you an answer, and I feel like
Okay.
you don't like the answer. So the answer is that he answered it correctly. I was going to go there anyway. That's why I said you want to finish, because the dynamics of a household is going to be different when two parents is not there. It just is what it is. The mother is going to have more on her. She's going to be overwhelmed. She's going to have an attitude. She's going to be stressed out. She's going to be overworked. And of course, that doesn't negate the fact that she, of course she loves her kids, but it's just the function of the household is going to be different. So what he said, when you have a man in your household and that curse is being broken and two well functioning adults are in the household, it makes the whole situation different. The children respond differently in everything.
Okay, so the last question I have for you. Weren't you married before though, with in a two household with both
Now
parents?
I was never married. No.
Okay, so this will be your first time being married in a two-parent home for your child.
Yes.
Okay, so that will be the only difference that will change you as a mother.
I
That's a
mean,
huge difference.
yeah, that's a very
I mean,
huge
that's a huge
difference.
difference.
I feel like
What's the difference though? Could you
I
explain?
feel like I'm more calm. I'm not like always just everything is all on me. I'm not feeling like the world is coming down on me. I can have someone to talk to, relate to comfort me, and be like, sometimes I get irritated throughout my day or dealing with the app, and my husband be like, "Wait, are you okay? You need to get off of that because your energy is different. Just want to make sure
So
you're good."
basically, like the
So these,
reassurance will make you a better mom. The reassurance.
Sis, did you have a 2-parent household when you was a kid?
Yeah, I did. My parents are still married.
Okay, so what is the difference? Or do you, if you mind me asking, do you have children, and is the man that you slept with living with you, or y'all
I
live
don't have
together?
children, no.
Okay, so you really don't know then the difference
Well,
between.
I watched my parents have
No,
children,
I'm saying
siblings. You know.
you don't know the difference when it comes to the million of single women out there that have kids that are by themselves. You
Do
haven't
you have
said
children?
yet. No, I don't.
Oh, so you can't say you wouldn't know either.
Well, most men do not have custody of their kids, even if I had 50 million kids. So most of our sisters,
So we would know
have,
the same thing about a child because you don't have children and I don't have children. So we both can't
well,
really
he's
answer that.
well, I'm only underlining the question that you asked. What I'm
Yeah,
asking,
but then you said I can't answer because I don't have children. How could you answer if you don't have children either?
look, you got to understand one thing, sis. You came on with a certain energy, so I'm feeding that back at you. It's as simple as that. So
I don't feel.
you gotta understand something, sis. I grew up in a 2-parent household. I turned out to be an excellent brother. So I'm having a child. I'm gonna put them same ideas, Them same beliefs that I seen my dad instill in my mom. He was the head. She listened. They had a beautiful relationship until he passed away. That woman still haven't dated ever since he passed away because it ain't no man that can supersede him. So I'm striving to be like that, brother. So if I can be like that, I know this woman that's sitting right next to me, that's having my child, that is married to me, is going to be more better than she was in the past. That's
More better is not really a word.
That's what a man is supposed to be. He's supposed to be much more better. You know what I mean? But you can try to critique my words because you're feeling in some type of way now, sis.
No, I don't
But
want you to say I'm feeling
that's what
the
you're
type.
doing.
Can I talk now?
No,
I don't think I'm feeling the way. I asked her a question and she couldn't answer.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
that was like, why?
That's the simple.
We're not gonna
That's
argue
the simple.
with you.
That's what I know. But I hope people see this.
Mm-hmm.
When a black man is up here talking, and I know some people are like, "Oh, he's not black," but when a black man is up here talking,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our sisters have an issue with listening.
Mm-hmm.
If I was fully white, I guarantee she wouldn't be acting like that.
Right.
And it's not by me saying that because I don't know. I experienced it. It's called the slave mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our sisters will listen to a white man before they listen to a black man.
They're so unruly.
Even if the brother is speaking knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that don't know how to listen, and that's for shame on her, because for her to have a 2-parent household, she grew up like that, she should have seen the mom listening to the dad.
Right.
But just because she had a 2-parent household don't mean she learned anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the parents could have been excellent parents. Her parents could have been great to her. But once she got of age, she could have lost all her knowledge and all her memory of how they try to teach her. But maybe she never been taught how to be around a man and be subservient to the man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's so many different factors.
Yeah, it is. And the simple fact that she don't know, I don't care what anybody says about, we know that our so-called black women are like super moms, and they have been given a situation. It wasn't by I wanted to. Either you left your children's father because he wasn't safe or he wasn't good enough to be around or a parent, or he abandoned you. It's either one or two, or he stayed with you and you guys are married. These are the only 3 situations, or he passed away. So my whole thing is that I don't care what you say. It's good for 2 parents to be in the same household. Even if a man take custody of his child and he is without a woman and he's doing it by himself, it's going to be hard on that man. I don't care if he got money or he don't. It's hard. It's very healthy to have 2 parents in one household. So you asked a question about what's going to be different for me, and my husband said she's married. That should have been good enough for you. I shouldn't have to break down the semantics of what is valuable when having 2 parents together in a household.
She should talk to her parents. If they're, religious people like that and they believe in the Bible, she should ask her dad. You know what I mean? Like, what does it really mean to have a good head in the household? If you can break that down, if she can listen to him, you know what I mean? Then she will be able to understand that.
Yeah, and then, when people get into these relationships, the first thing our so-called women be like, oh, she's getting bigger, that must be happy weight, or, oh, you're glowing, or, oh, it seems like you're happier. So we're not going to act like a good relationship does not change a person's energy. We're not going to act like that. Because when you're in a healthy relationship, your mind, you become free. It's just a load off of you. So we're not going to act like a good relationship does not benefit a woman, especially our so-called black women. Because a lot of our black women didn't even have a father.
Most of them never experienced an actual good dude.
Yeah.
And then if they have, they ran them away so quickly because they wasn't used to it. They don't know how to treat a good man.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of used to these knuckleheads. Like the guys that these women be like, oh, well, he good for right now. He good because he know how to do sex and all that stuff. But I don't want to marry him.
Yeah.
But by that time, you already got kids. And then now you're saying, I'm ready to settle down. I want to find a good dude. But you don't even know how to be a good woman. So at the end of the day, to that sis, I got nothing but love for her. She just got to be able to understand that there's a problem with our sisters. Most of them have by birth problem with black men. It's a curse, literally a curse. if you sit a white man and a black man next to each other and you ask who gonna be the one to commit a crime, most of us gonna point at the black man.
Meanwhile, those white people, kids
They the
shooting up
ones,
schools.
yeah. So it's a knee-jerk reaction for us to point at each other. You know what I mean? So that's a psychological issue that we have to break.
And then my whole thing is, if you see just my husband's demeanor, just his conversation and his, you know, just the mature classic man that he is, just off this conversation you can see that he's really good for me. He's just a good person, just period. And I'm just really blessed to have him in my life. But my whole thing is, I don't have to worry about, you know, if he's going to be a good role model to our baby. Like, I just know that he is. So, but you got into situations where you have children and you just had sex and you rushed into it, and now you have to deal with the father, and the father got to deal with the baby mama, and they arguing because you know, it becomes messy, and it becomes the whole, just when you have the baby, you be at the hospital by yourself. I don't care what nobody say, whether I or any other woman really cared about their children's father. When your children's father is not there at the hospital with you, when you have that baby, or you're going outside that door with your child alone, it hit different. But when my husband is going to be present when I have my child, so it's just going to be different for me. Of course, the energy, my mothering is going to be better. I'm not going to be overwhelmed. I'm not going to be stressed. Like, you know, like and then all of that being overwhelmed, and I like this in my parenting classes, that affects the children. When a mom is not at her full capacity of being a good mother because of the things that she's lacking, including the children's father being present in the household, that weighs on her mothering skills. It affects her. Like, it does. It really, really does. Like, I feel like even when it comes to postpartum, I feel like a lot of our women go through more postpartum being single moms than a woman going through postpartum with being married and having a baby. So, yeah.
All of that stuff, postpartum depression, all that stuff, in my opinion, I never really heard of a woman going through that if she was happy and they was married and all that stuff.
Yeah, it just seemed like the odds are less.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying the odds are less.
People just don't look at stuff more spiritual. You know, they want to look at stuff worldly. Because
they have been forced to be single mothers, so they just can't understand how a woman. Yeah, it is a curse.
A woman being a single mother is a curse on her. Don't blame the man. Y'all gotta stop blaming the man. Y'all decided to sleep with a guy that you knew wasn't gonna marry you. Y'all decided to sleep with a man knowing that once he entered into you, that becomes a spiritual marriage if it wasn't no infidelity involved during that time. So right off jump, you getting cursed.
Mm-hmm.
More so on a woman than a man because of what Eve did. Y'all part of her bloodline, so naturally it's going to be a spiritual curse that passes down. Some women are strong enough to be able to deflect that and think positive and do what's right. And I salute y'all. And a lot of women don't. But those are the women that got to check themselves more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They got to seek guidance, whether it's from an elder.
But you know what? Salakia, baby, it's a curse on a man too. If he have a baby by a woman that he can't get along with, that he got to go to court with, that he got to fight with to see his baby, and or that the mother, you know, go crazy or something like that, and now he forced to take care of the baby alone. It's a curse on any single parent.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Because it was never meant for that to happen. And it's concerning, like, just to, you know, go back on the whole postpartum situation. I know postpartum is a hormone deficiency, but what I'm saying is when a woman is going through hormonal changes, it's just something that naturally happens. But when you have a good person beside you to uplift you, to comfort you, it have a less effect on you. If I'm going through depression and I have someone that's around me that's nurturing me and caring for me and uplifting me compared to me going through depression alone, the effects of me, you know, doing it alone compared to having someone with me is different. And that's what I was going with that. I mean, like, just having that support.
Just a question, and throwing shade. Wow.
So let's see.
Knowledge 7 years.
I can't hear you. You gotta come back, sis.
She was breaking up
Yeah,
bad.
come back. And then you guys say, I don't want to throw shade, but what come out your mouth is disrespectful.
Anybody that
So
say
I don't understand why do you guys say.
Anybody that say that had the intent to throw shade.
Yeah, it's just like if somebody it's choppy. Like that's just like if you're going through chemotherapy and you're bald headed. And people know that obviously it looks like most people that they see is completely bald, either going through some type of cancer or, they even have alopecia. And you know that. And you come up to her and you be like, well, not to throw shade. I don't want to be disrespectful, but you got cancer because you got a bald head. That's the same thing y'all doing to me. You coming up here and saying, I don't want to throw shade or I don't want to be disrespectful. And then you ask a question that you already know.
I want to hear from the women that are happy. That's what I want to hear from. Those more logical. No, seriously.
Hi. Only thing I want to say is congratulations on your marriage. Congratulations on your pregnancy. And I hope you all have a long-lasting, successful marriage and baby. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
And she's beautiful with her natural hair.
Yeah, I like that's the first thing I noticed.
So two things. I and depression are totally different. And because you've unfortunately experienced postpartum depression, you're more than likely, like 90% to 95% likely to have it going forward. And I said a man is not a fix for that and got muted because clinically people need to know maternal care with postpartum. This is a serious topic and it shouldn't be played with. And there are women that drown them in a bathtub. So I was trying to be rude or shady that a man's not a fix. So I don't know why I got muted for that.
I think
We need to talk about this.
we can talk about
Well,
it.
let me just finish.
Go ahead.
Hang on, and Doug, please, let me finish my point because this is a medical condition and it has been swept under the rug and women have been blamed for it too long. And we need to treat it with the proper responsibility that it requires. And women deserve care for it. We've been pushed to the back and ignored for these things and blamed for these things. And there's no simple, easy fix for these things. And what makes people, because they're stressing the severity of postpartum depression and the attention it requires and deserves respectfully. And it has nothing to do with you per se by saying that, but a man isn't a fix for that. Because I know a lot of happily married women subservient to their man that still suffer it. So just be mindful about medical conditions that can cause death and trauma and murder and suicide. These are real serious things that happen under this type of depression. It's different and it requires that attention. So thank you for letting me finish that. And please unmute me.
Okay,
Please
yeah,
unmute me in the comments.
I can unmute you.
Thank you.
But I think that a lot of you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that people have dealt with postpartum and they're married. I understand that. I have dealt with postpartum alone. And I know for 100% sure, without a doubt, that if I have postpartum with this child, my husband energy, being just his spirit, is going to make me.
I'm not discounting that.
And
I'm
that's
not
all I'm
discounting
saying.
that.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, she is, because the first thing she said was a man can't help.
Not discounting that, but I'm just saying. But
Because
my
that's
whole
my
point
point.
is
Most women think
let's
a man can't
right.
help.
And I
The
don't
Most
disagree
High
with you on that.
moved.
I don't
Most
disagree
High
with
moved
that.
to
But
a
you
man
really won't
first.
know till you go
You know
through
what I'm
it,
saying?
right?
So,
To
but
be fair, Angelic, you
No, because
won't
I
know.
know.
Like
Because
just
I
like
know.
having twins.
Now
But
before
people that don't have twins or multiples have no clue what that's like
back
either,
in biblical
unless they've
times, still
experienced
Okay, so
postpartum depression.
let us respond
multiples.
to this.
Having a baby and having.
Still postpartum depression back in biblical times.
Was there postpartum depression back in biblical times?
Yeah,
I don't think
when
so.
It's always been around. They were treated as witches. They were stoned to death. They were considered possessed.
But how if it makes you feel bad? Do you understand that a
But
woman
that's the
gives birth?
ignorance that men have put
When
on women,
women,
Let
though.
him
no, no,
finish.
when
Let him
women give
finish.
birth, they expel so much energy. If they
No, but
lose
he asked
most
the
of their
question.
Let
no,
him
if they lose most
finish.
of their energy and they can't refill, that postpartum depression happens. Everything is spiritual. No medicine. You can get pumped full of medicine. The doctor's gonna love you for going in to get prescriptions and all that stuff because it makes them more rich.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody stop having postpartum depression, if people stop killing people, if women start being more healthier than all outdoors, they're all going. Hospitals gonna go bad. They need you to be in that state of mind. If
And
you're not gonna work yourself to break yourself out of it to remember who you was prior to that depression, it's depression. You just put a word in front of it. That's it. That depression is what you gotta battle. If you're not allowing yourself, if you're not going to the Most High and asking for help, that's the problem because y'all don't believe. Most of y'all say that y'all religious. Most of y'all say that y'all God-fearing people, but y'all really not because you're not praying to Him as much as you should. You're not asking for that guidance and that wisdom. We're more looking at the doctors as gods than the Most High.
yeah.
And that's
I don't disagree.
And I wanted
Can
to
I?
add to that. I wanted to add to that that I'm when not even with my postpartum.
Sure.
If I just by me being married and having my husband's energy in his spirit, if I'm going through postpartum depression and I'm feeling low, if my husband come up to me and he's like, "Are you okay?" and rubbing my shoulders, rubbing my legs and stuff, I'm gonna run you a hot bath and put some herbs in it, or and read like me some scriptures and stuff like that. That will soothe me other than medication. Is what I'm saying. There's ways to go and soothe the
I
person,
don't disagree with any of that. You're right.
and you
You're
don't need
right.
to
And
take
we
it.
don't do those things enough. You're right. But we should always be doing those things. We should be connected with herbs. We should be connected with the earth. We should be doing those things. You're right. We can't do them. And can utilize doctors. I don't disagree with Vince. We need to be having that balance in our lives. You're absolutely correct. Our nutrition is shit. Our lives, we're in a hurry to go nowhere fast. We aren't things. We're not gardening. We're not properly maintaining our diets and our lifestyles. That's not neither here nor there. But when you have a chemical change that is clinical, that's different. And I'm just saying there are different ways. Yes, Angelic, you should be doing all things anyways. I have to put my R&B on and have my candles in my bath just to keep myself from snapping. We need to figure those things out. What
Yeah,
works for us
hope
and
and
what
heal.
works for you may
Hope
not
and
work for
heal.
me or vice versa. 100%. But let's just be honest here. We can't think that
But I
things are
think,
gonna
sis,
be
I think
all
that you are
perfect and
trying.
rainbows and sunshines.
But I think
No,
that
but
you're trying to still
but
put the
here, just hear
doctors
me
in the
out. You
position.
won't know till you go through it. No,
But I know
no,
I've
I
been
don't. I
through it.
just don't want to discredit. I know, but I don't want to I don't. I feel like you're discrediting what you actually had to suffer through by saying a man's going to be a fix for it, and that's not fair. I don't think you're
I'm
being
not
fair
just
to
saying, but
yourself. I
but if
don't
we're
want
gonna
you to.
but
I
if we're
just
gonna
don't
be
want you.
real,
Just
if we're gonna be real, it's just
let
not a man.
me
It's
say,
a
I'll jump
village.
down. Let me
It's a,
just finish. I
it's a
don't want to
village.
argue. I don't.
But you're
I'm
not.
trying to
But
be
when you're
supportive to you,
speaking,
Angelic.
even when you're speaking,
no
give me
one's
a chance to
arguing. It's just a
respond.
debate. That's
What
all.
I'm saying is, I get what you're saying. We're kind of agreeing, but I feel like you want to keep like trying to put this awareness out as if we're not going to disclose the doctors. When we're like spiritually where we are, we
No,
want to
I
disclose
never said
the
those.
doctors.
No, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. That wasn't what I said, and that's not fair. That was really unfair, and I never came
So
up
what
here
is
to
it? What is
argue with
so
you.
what? So what point are you
That
making? What
I think
pardon?
first and foremost, there's not one fix for anything. Clinical depression, postpartum depression. these things require more action. You won't know until you walk through it what works for you and how you're going to manage it. Yes, I'm excited you're going to have somebody to draw a bath and rub shoulders, but to even have twins, Angelic, from a singleton to having a multiple baby birth, that changes you. There are real things that along the way with 7 births, your brain shrink birth. There are still scientific change happen biologically. And so you can't minimize those things. Yes, you're setting yourself up for a better path, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with those things. What I'm saying is though, is there's a level of maturity and awareness and acknowledgement, and you're belittling, in my opinion, it's almost like because of a man, you're saying you're not experiencing those things, you're setting yourself up for failure, to be fair. And I don't want you to get in that position where you think that there's one fix for anything. And I don't want people in the comments to feel less than because they might still be in that place. And I know this is probably more, but let me just finish my point, because we keep getting off on a team. I've never came up here I've never put in just positive reinforcements, but don't get closed-minded, to just be fair. You know, you have an opportunity here to share some facts, but you should always keep that there are always balances to these things, and not one thing is going to fix. And sir, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful for you and say you're not the fix for Angelic, that you're willing to do those things, and I hope that there's more men out there that will step up that way. 100%.
I'm never gonna be the
Thank
fix
you.
for her.
Be fair.
You know what? We respect what you said. We respect, but we're gonna respond.
She kept reiterating that a man is not a fix. A man is not a fix.
It's like, is you happy? Are you? What type of head do you have?
That is weird. She kept saying a man is not a fix. I never said I was the answer of all answers, but me being here is a great seed to be planted. But to say a man is not a fix, I'm more curious on what is her life like for her to keep saying that. What does she go through? Did she not have a man? If she went through that, or she know women that have gone through that, and she just see that
a good man is a healthy balance. I'm not gonna say that.
If she is someone in the medical field, she could have seen a lot of women come in with no men. And it could have been indoctrinated in her that men ain't shit. Not saying that's what it is, but that, you know, my background, and I studied a lot of psychology. And I listen to people's words, how she talked, even though she was talking calm and smooth. It was an underlining tone in that. And she needs to realize, she kept saying, a man is not the fix. Man is not the fix. Go to the doctors. Get their help. That's what made me believe that she may be someone that's in the medical field.
Yeah, and you know what? Salakia Bay, and then she was saying, yeah, we need to get into gardening and natural herbs and all that other stuff. Healing is conversation. There's many ways of healing. Healing is conversation. Healing don't always have to go to the doctor and get pumped up with medication. If a person is going through depression, one of the things that heal their depression is conversation. Sometimes, at some point, you're going to have to go through therapy to let it out. Because there's a lot of thoughts that people go through when they're going through some type of hormonal deficiency. It's the thought process. It's the emotion that they're feeling and the thoughts they come up with that they project. So if I'm in a healthy relationship, I have healthy friendships, I have healthy family members that I can call on and lean on is going to be, you know, and help me in a time of need. All of that is a positive fix. But you like, we need to go back to those type of things, because in the Bible there was no postpartum. Matter of fact, when the women had their baby, they had duties. The men had duties and the women had duties. The daughters will assist and the sons will assist the fathers. If the women was not feeling good or was going through something with their health or emotions, that's where the men come in as her Lord. What is a Lord?
Most people don't realize depression can be caused by the spirits they're around on a day-to-day basis. You know, if you wake up one day and you're like, man, I was just cool before I went to sleep, I was happy and all that. Now you wake up feeling like SHIT, you feel like you're in the mood and all that. Think about who you was hanging around. If energy is always being transferred amongst people, you got to think that sometimes if you're someone that's like a conduit to bring stuff to you, that could be the part of your depression. So you got to learn how to exercise a lot of that stuff. People, just don't take what I'm saying. Do your research, find that stuff out, break it down. You'll find out a lot of our problems that these therapists, they already know. These doctors, they already know. Why do you think that they got spiritual healers out there? Because they know that's the problem. But if we all know that, like I go back to say,
some things are holistic. You don't have to go to the doctors for everything.
Not going to want to tell you that because they don't really want you to be
well. Let's go back to the holistic
way. To cure cancer. Police don't want everybody to be nice and safe with each other because they will be out of a job. They need people to be in need. They need people to get sick. They need people to be criminals, murderers.
But even with the chemical imbalance, you don't have to be medicated by the doctors for it. And we are not advocating for that. We feel like the doctors is like the very last resort. That's what we're saying. We want to bring back into our household, especially as being Hebrews, different ways that we can share amongst each other, holistic ways other than going to the doctor, even when it comes to a hormonal deficiency. Because hormonal deficiencies, you can Google ways, natural ways that can cure that and help with that. And some of that just come with time. And give your body you have to give your body some time to adjust of different things that's happening to you, especially if you're having a baby. And we just don't want to run to the doctor. So we're not saying that it's not an imbalance that we can control. We can't, that's something that we can control. We're saying that we want to control it in a different way other than going to the doctor. And we're just giving out different things that we can use in love, having a companion, and not just any companion. My husband have a very God-like spirit in him. Of course, it's only one Yah. Of course, Kings of Kings, Lord, we know that. We know that. But your husband is supposed to be your guide. He's supposed to be there to help you through situations, to uplift you, to speak word into you, to speak spirit into you. My husband pray over me a lot, even times I didn't even know. He'll tell me, like, I was just praying. Like, I could be on the couch and I'll just have this unction to want to come sit by him and sit close to him. And I tell him, like, wait, I'm feeling some energy. It's like a strong energy between us. He was like, that's because I was just praying for you. Like, so different stuff like that could erase a lot of trauma. I don't care what nobody says. When you go through a lot of trauma in life and you have somebody that's, whether it's a husband, a female that you meet in your life, you can meet females when you're grown, and that can be like your best sister, like your friend, your best friend, that can heal all of some things that happen to you in your life, being loved properly. Even when it comes to coming to children, when your children is so used to fighting police calls, domestic violence, when they finally start to see their mother being loved properly, that can heal as well. So we're just talking about that in that sense. And that kind of helps with some depression. It kind of helps with what they diagnose as an imbalance. And that's all we're saying. So we're gonna let up 2 more people in it.
Shalom, Barak Hashem. I am so excited for you. Oh man, like this is the season. This is happening all over our people who are walking with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We're in this world, but we're not of it. So they ain't gonna understand it, but I do. And I'm just like, y'all on my prayer list, sis. And I was just telling my husband, about you and that you're married now. And listen, sis, this is the season. Okay? It is happening. We are up under these curses, but the Most High is beginning to rectify those curses for the ones, right, that are submitted unto Him, because that's what it's all about.
And you should see it.
And where we go, what you say, Mama?
And then eventually you will see a difference.
Oh, not only will you see it, but you will feel it, and you'll begin to walk in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing. So I just wanted to come up here and just, say congratulations. All praise to the Most High. And Stay in that word, family that stays together, prays together, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, I'm just so happy for you. You too, brother. And I got y'all on my prayer list because it's not easy for Yashala out here. It's not. And this is exactly what the enemy don't want. You know, he don't want families coming together, marriages, righteous children. He doesn't want that. So I got you on my prayer list. Y'all stay strong. I love you. And yes, congratulations.
Ramada, thank you, Princess. Yes, that was very positive. Okay, so this will be the last
Why
question.
do you feel like a man? Why do you feel like when you're by yourself, Angelica, you can't do anything, but when you're with a man, you feel like you could do everything, this and that. Why do you feel like a man can dictate of how you are?
I
You can
feel
read the
like,
Bible and find out what a righteous man can do to a group of people, to a person.
hmm and then not only that, I feel like, at some point, like, you can put all your might, all your strength, all your energy into something, and you go so hard for it, and you crash. And you don't, especially when you're heading into a crash, when you don't have no assistance, no type of comfort, no help, you just crash horribly. So that's why you always used to say, I don't have supporters, I have villagers, because having a village, having a good support is important. And I think our so-called black women, we get so strong-minded and we become super moms that we don't never look at ourselves and be like, I'm not feeling okay today. I'm not well. Like, I'm not mentally there. I feel not good.
But
So
I understand that. But Angelica, you have
my
other
name is
things to work.
Angelic, sweetie.
Angelic,
Mhm.
whatever. You have other
Okay,
things to
well,
worry about.
I'm
And
gonna drop you
as
because
this
your
motherfucking man
spirit
right here.
Yep.
is ratchet and
Yep.
nasty.
Those are the women that don't know how to
And she
enjoy
seems
a
that she's
man.
jealous, and because
I
she can't
mean,
be
I
happy
look.
talking like
At the
that.
end of the day, I listen to them sisters. I take no offense to when they get upset and mad because they're like infants. They're trying to learn how, from your past to now, how you could have made this drastic change. And what's one of the biggest things that you're not me is that you're being more subservient to the Most High. That's the number one thing. It's not because of me. And if these women out here, especially our sisters,
Because I wouldn't even be
yeah,
with you if I wasn't in a mindset to serve the Most High.
and you know what I said before, and I'm gonna let all y'all women know that don't understand. If I'm gonna say it in their terms, if Jesus came down right now and told all y'all sisters that y'all need to be subservient to the man y'all with, if he's not beating you, if he's not raping you, even if you don't like him, it's too bad you slept with him. I guarantee a lot of y'all sisters will go off on Jesus. I guarantee it. It's just in y'all. Y'all not gonna be subservient to him. So if you're not gonna be subservient to him or his father, the Almighty, how you think you're gonna be like that to any brother walking around? How you think you're not gonna find happiness in any way, shape, or form? Even if you're sitting there crying at night to the Most High, saying, "Please, I need some help. I need a good man." But if you're not right, he's not gonna bring that man to you. He's not gonna bring you any help, even if it's not a man. So you can't just run to the church that one day and
And
say, I
then
got
what?
saved, and then do all this ratchet stuff, come on people's lives, talking all this mess.
And then why was the women were created?
They were supposed to be helpmeets.
Or exactly,
It's
women were supposed to be helpmeets, and they were created from a head. They were supposed to be a helpmeet for their husband. And when you remove a man from and you just leave her with children, like, that mentally does something to her. And I think a lot of women, especially our single black women, so-called black women, we're so used to being forced to do it on our own because the love that we have for our children, and maybe the father maybe jacked up or he left and walked away, that we have this mindset that it doesn't matter what happened, we cannot break as if we are not humans. And it's very sad and it's sickening to me. And actually, I feel sorry for the women who think like that. Don't know how to appreciate her head because she's been trained to be alone, to be the man, to be dominant. So, of course, when you have a good male present, you're supposed to be a better person. That's why when you see women who's standing up on a bus, a man's supposed to get up out his seat. Or when a woman is carrying bags, a man's supposed to help her out. But when you have multiple children,
you can't even do that now because the woman gonna think that a man trying to hit on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's been times where it was snowing out and I seen a young lady with 2 kids walking next to her. They was bundled up and then she was pushing a kid on the stroller. My first reaction was to pull over and ask, did she need some help? Then I had to sit back and think, that's not them times no more. I can't just do that. You know what I mean? So I had to bite the bullet and keep going. Because for one, I don't know if that's what she's supposed to be doing. The Most High could have put her in that situation because of something that she did.
Her,
You know what I mean? So I can't just think I gotta help and save everybody. Because I could be in the wrong for that.
Or she might think you're gonna try to attack her, or take her,
since
kidnap
I rode
her
you somewhere, I want something in return. Like, no, how am I gonna get blessed by acting like that? And like to that sis, I got number love for someone like that.
She go from room to room being ghetto.
But I mean, that's her thing.
But yeah, that's her thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, you know, I just really pray for our single sisters, you know, that you guys have comfort and peace, and you'll be telling that same testimony, how your husband helped you with your spirit, how your husband uplifted you, how your husband made you a better woman. I cannot wait till a lot of our sisters have that same testimony. Like, we lack that. I feel like y'all be like, oh, we strong Black women. But you say that you're not supposed to be a strong Black woman by yourself. Like, it shouldn't be strong Black women because I'm a single mom.
You know what they
I
should
can
say?
be a strong Black woman as a wife.
You know what they should say? I'm a humble Black woman. And take that Black word out of it.
Yeah, just take the Black word out. The water sister, like, just take the Black word out.
All I can say is this. At the end of the day, people gonna act like how they want to act.
Like, the difference between seeing a woman by herself with children, or just, you know, then with her man, y'all won't say she's a strong Black woman. You get less strong Black women conversations when she's married. You only get strong Black women when she's a single mother. Why is that? She can't be a strong Black woman with her husband? No, the narrative is she's a strong Black woman because she's forced to be in a position to do something that she wasn't supposed to do, and she's handling it well. That's why she's a strong Black woman. And that's sad. That's the curse. So we're gonna just definitely end it here. We you know, we had a really good conversation, but it's getting late. I don't want to just. My husband is really not an internet type of person. I was like,
I am not.
Babe, can you please do a live for tonight? He's like, I'll do it for you. You know, I hope you guys you know, find some shalom in your night or whatever.
Pray.
Yes.
Pray before you go to sleep, because you never know if you're going to wake up. And when you wake up, try thanking the Most High. You'll see how much of a difference that is. You may feel uncomfortable doing it. Say it out loud. Don't do it in your mind. Say it out loud. It may feel a little uncomfortable at first, but that's just you being submissive to the Most High. Just do that. I guarantee certain things that may have bothered you in the past won't bother you. You know what I mean? If you someone that just like being ratchet, like all that drama, then hey, by all means, keep doing what you do. But once it's time for judgment and the Most High show you your sheet, your rap sheet, and he say, I'm disappointed in you, and you have any remembrance of this conversation, don't say I didn't warn you. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, you guys, we're definitely going to, you know, do more stuff like this. I feel like this is what our community need, other than going back and forth on Bigo, talking about people and trying to call people jobs and do all the crazy stuff that people do on Bigo. I feel like this is the more important conversations that we should have or whatever. But you're not really gonna get that much from my husband all the time. You guys had a treat tonight. Yeah. All right. All right, you guys. Shalom.